Comparing and ordering fractions. To compare and order fractions, you have to make them all into equivalent fractions by finding a common denominator. The denominator will be the least common multiple of all the numbers. You could just multiply all the denominators together, but that would give you a really big number. So the most efficient way will be to choose the largest denominator, list its multiples, then check the next largest number, underline matches, then the next largest, just checking the underlined ones, and so forth. So if I wanted to compare and order these fractions, 1/4, 3/10, 2/5, 1/3, the largest denominator is 10. So I'm going to list the multiples of 10. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and so forth. The next number is 5. And I know that 5 divides into all of these numbers. 5 goes into 10, 5 divides into 20, 5 divides into 30, and so forth. So all of these numbers are divisible by 10 and 5. So the next largest number is 4. 4 does not divide evenly into 10, so I need to cross that one out. But it does divide evenly into 20, so I'm going to leave that one. 4 does not divide evenly into 30, so I'm going to cross that one out. 40, yes. 50, no. So my next number is 3. So I'm just going to look at the numbers I'm left with. Does 3 divide evenly into 20? No. Does 3 divide evenly into 40? No. So I've got to go a little further in my list. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. 5 divides in. 4 divides into 60. Yes, because on the clock there are 4 15s in 60. And so the last number I'm going to check is 3. Yes, 3 does divide into this. So now I'm going to make equivalent fractions. So I'm going to write my fractions down next to each other. So I'm going to write 1/4, 3/10, 2/5, 1/3, and my common denominator is 60. So next to each of these, I'm going to write a 60. So to get from 10 up to 60, I have to multiply the 10 by 6. So I multiply my numerator 3 by 6, and I get 18. So 3/10 is equivalent to 18/60. Then thinking about that clock, 4 times 15 is 60. So 1 times 15 is 15. So 1/4 is 15/60. 3 times 20 is 60. So 1 times that same 20 is 20. And the last one, 5 times 12 is 60, and 2 times 12 is 24. So to compare my fractions, now I look at my numerators. So I was being asked to write my fractions from, didn't say, we'll do it from least to greatest. So the smallest one, I've got 15, 18, 24, and 20. So the smallest one is 15. So 15/60 is the smallest. The next smallest one is 18/60, then 20/60, then 24/60. So those are my fractions in order, but I know lots of times the test won't have those fractions, so I've got to go back to where I was. So this was 1/4. This was 3/10. This was 1/3. And finally, 2/5. So written from least to greatest, 1/4, 3/10, 1/3, and 2/5. Now sometimes you won't be asked to order a whole bunch, you'll be asked to compare two fractions by making an inequality. Remember, inequalities are less than, greater than, and then I've got equal to on here, but it's usually just less than and greater than, and some couple others. All right, so we're going to look at this, and I'm going to say 2/5 compared to 3/10. So I have to find a common denominator. So I choose the larger one, 10, 10, 20, 30. 5 divides into 10, so 10 is my denominator. So this one just stays the same. Whoops, sorry, that's 3. And then here, to get from 5 to 10, I multiply by 2. 2 times 2, of course, is 4. So I compare 4/10, 3/10. Well, 4/10 is bigger than 3/10. So 4/10 is greater than 3/10. And going back to my original, 2/5 is greater than 3/10.